Hello there, this is the fourth video in a series made in February 2023. So the first three videos in the series were really entry level, first visualizing some data, then segmenting walnut data, very basic segmentation, and then making some analysis of porosity. This fourth video and the fourth step in this tutorial series really is meant for you to take this data and do some practice on segmentation with a fun example of a Lego man. So let me show you that, a Lego figurine. Let me just get that. Okay, I've got the Dragonfly interface here. Let me just clean up the position of the image there. Right, we're going to do import image files again as before. We import the Lego man stack that you have available as part of this training program. And we basically, we can crop this a little bit along the top and the sides. So we can scroll along the Z-axis. We can crop along the Z-axis like that. And we can make sure we don't crop any bit of the Lego man's material away, and that's sufficient. And then finish. So this is a nice example of some clean data, and just ignore the warning there. What you will see with a quick shortcut render is you have a Lego man loaded on a stick into the CT machine, and it's holding a spanner, and we can make a nicer rendering of that. If you like, you can optimize that in this. Oh, actually, what I can show you, which looks quite nice on this, is to make the Lego man transparent. And this will be actually sensible, because what we will do is we will make segmentations of different regions, make different ROIs, which we can directly see the segmentation on top of the transparent Lego man while we are doing it. So the first step, let's segment this spanner, and that is quite easy to do. You can do, let me show you how to do a segment define range upper Otsu, and we can use the show histogram and log to see that there are actually three peaks here. The first is background, then the main material, and then the denser material, which is the hand and spanner and so on. There's also some little bits on the surface, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's just add to new. This is all dense parts. So we can tick off the define range. And how to get rid of small bits like that? The easiest way is to do an opening function, and that removes all little parts like that. So if you now were to visualize in 3D all the dense parts, it's that. We've got the two hands, spanner, and a stick at the bottom. So let's say we would like to remove the stick at the bottom. That is actually quite easy. We want to remove it from the region of interest here. So what we can do is we can create a box, or it's on the main tab. We haven't done this yet, but if we create a box like that, we can actually, let's do it this way around. So we put a box covering the area that we want to remove ROI from. So if we now right click here, then we can say remove from structured grid, and we can say remove that from dense parts. So now we've got that removed in a nice way. So you can use various shapes tools in that way to add or remove to a region of interest. You can, for example, also make let's do a different thing. Let's make a cylinder shape. Let's make a cylinder shape, which is, it's maybe not the easiest thing for a demo if I've never done it before. Okay, let's forget about the cylinder. It's a bit difficult in 3D here. Let's just make another box, and we can drag it up. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to add the entire head, hopefully, to the ROI, just as a quick demo. So not the easiest thing to do. So let's do that, and then we can say add to ROI. Can add two dense parts. Ugh, now it's added everything in there. So that's not exactly what we wanted. So what you could do in that region is you could, of course, do it different ways also. You can take this and split. You can do this dense parts and split at O2. So it will make two ROIs, the dense parts, which is now what we actually wanted, and that is now the head and the everything. So it split the ROI that you had there into two parts. It's also possible to take this box with a head. Let's just take that off for a minute, to take a region of a box shape and entirely remove it from the image data. So if you choose the structured grid to be the image data, you can entirely remove the head. You see there's actually still some part there. So let's go ahead and remove from the image data. And there we've removed all of that. So you can put the boxes away. Now you have a Lego man just like that. But the head ROI is still there, but not the part that we want. So actually, let's remove even the ROI also. Remove structured grid from dense parts foreground. Right, now we have the parts that we want. Let's say now we want to segment away the spanner and make each hand a different color and the spanner a different color. What is the challenge with that? The challenge is that the spanner, if you go through this data, at some point the spanner and the hand are touching. So it's very difficult to do that. There we see the challenge. So we could try different things here. The first thing I would try is I would try doing an erode function and doing that 2 or 3 times. At some point you start to get some noise and remove, you lose a lot of information like that. So maybe that's not the best way to do it. I would just dilate again. And I mean, there's also different ways to do it. What I would do here, and I think that's what the exercise should be at this point, is to make a new ROI called spanner. And we're going to paint into this ROI. So we use the define range, which is what the preview, this red preview color, and we will use a paintbrush using that. So we use a multi-slice spherical brush using full option here. Be careful, that must be the full option. And then when you have a brush like that, over the edge, it will only paint in the spanner region. So that's, if you make the brush big, you paint the entire head of the brush in one go like that. And that's quite a nice way to paint everything that you need up to that point. And now we just have to be careful in the inner regions here. So try to go in the middle of this and try to gradually move towards the ends like that. And we can try and fix that up as we move slice by slice through the data. This is probably the most time-consuming part. But that is what manual segmentation is. So we do that, and that's, as we scroll through it a bit more, we see there we need to do that again. All right. So you can make your brush bigger and smaller by scrolling with the mouse wheel while you're holding down Control or Shift. I don't remember if I explained it carefully. Holding down Control and left mouse button adds material, and holding down Shift and left mouse button removes material. So there's some more material that needs to be added. Okay, so it's not too bad. I think at this point, we've got most of the spanner included. It might just have some excess material in some slices. There's even some areas which are not fully covered there. Let's fix it. The main thing is to look in the other slice views. So let's look in this slice view as we scroll through the object. There we can see some errors, so we can fix that a little bit in this view. So we can remove material in that area. You can also change the contrast a little bit if you want to see the underlying material better. So that's it really for manual segmentation. As you can see, it's possible, but it takes a bit of time. It's why we are actually interested in using deep learning methods or machine learning methods, which will be the next lessons. But for now, just get some practice with manual segmentation and do a segmentation of the spanner or any other part of the Lego man that you would like to have separated from the rest for a nice visualization. So what I'm doing here is using a particular method of segmentation. I can also put the define range off and use a full brush. In that case, I just need to be really careful of what I'm doing because it can paint into the air, for example, there. And like there, it's done that, even though I fixed it. It was in some other slices because I'm working on a spherical brush. And there we can do that. Okay, and as we go along, it might take a bit of work to fix that up perfectly, but it seems in general not too bad at the moment. There's a bit of something to fix up. And there, and that seems to be it. So if you look at that in 3 dimensions, switch it on, there we've got the spanner in 3D, colored in 3D. So the next thing that we can do, as I said, I want the spanner segmented, and let's just do a new upper Otsu define range because we've messed up the rest a bit. This is now hands plus spanner, this one. So what I would do here is I would say, well, we can look at that. Oh, that's actually, sorry. Is that all the material? Sorry, that's the entire Lego man. I actually don't want that. I want just the hands section. So let's just put all of that off. Oh, okay, so there we go. That will be the hands plus spanner, that particular region of interest. So now if we take, let's just call it hands plus spanner. If we do that minus that, A minus B, that would be just hands. So now we have the hands as 2 parts. Actually, there's something to be removed down there, so you can use again the box. Where's the other box, the first box? So we can remove from the hands this part, right click on the box, remove from hands. There we go. And what we can also do is we can say for this hands, we can refine process islands, keep by largest. So we want only the two largest things, which are the hands. Did I click the wrong button? I'm going to undo. Refine process islands, keep by largest to. There we go. So now we have two hands there. Now you can make this, split this into two in different ways. The easiest way is to make a multi-ROI. So now we have the two hands as two classes in the multi-ROI. You could also just take each one separately and extract to an ROI, but it's not necessary. You can use the ROI directly to change the colors. And basically this gives you a little bit of experience working with segmentation and ROIs and even a multi-ROI there. So the only other tool for segmentation I want to show you here at this point is when we want to paint the spanner. There is another tool that I didn't show you yet. Let's call it spanner 2. I'm not going to do the whole process now. Actually, I'm not sure why it's looking like a multi-ROI. I want to create just a normal spanner. Oh, okay, it just looks, I'm sorry, it just looks like that. What we need to do is on the multi-slice tool, there's something called the local Otsu, and you could use this to paint most of the spanner as before, and then moving into the inside like that. It basically does the same job up to the end, and it's the same as using a threshold. It's using a Otsu threshold within the range of the brush, within the region of the brush. So that's basically that. So you can work with those manual segmentation tools and work with the Lego man. And then I'll see you in the next video.